Hi, welcome back to Science 1206, the Sustainability of Ecosystems Unit. I'm Ms. Ledwell, and in this video, we'll discuss the nitrogen cycle. Let's begin. Nitrogen is an essential nutrient for life. It is a key component of proteins that make up living organisms and DNA, which carries genetic information. Nitrogen makes up approximately 78% of Earth's atmosphere. So that's the blue section in this pie chart. But it is in a form, N2 nitrogen gas, that most plants and animals cannot directly utilize. Animals, including humans, acquire nitrogen in the form of proteins by consuming other animals and plants. In order for plants to make these nitrogen-containing proteins, they require nitrogen in a form called nitrates. In the nitrogen cycle, nitrogen continuously cycles through various forms such as nitrates, nitrites, and nitrogen gas. In order for nitrogen to be usable by living organisms, it needs to be what's called fixed, meaning it must be converted from nitrogen gas into nitrate, NO3 negative. So we can see from our diagram, for plants to be able to use nitrogen, it needs to be in the form of nitrates. Nitrogen fixation, that changes nitrogen gas into nitrate, occurs through several natural processes, including lightning, soil bacteria, and symbiotic bacteria. Let's discuss these processes in a little more detail. So as we discussed, the nitrogen fixation processes include lightning, and the electrical energy of lightning causes nitrogen gas to react with oxygen, O2, in the atmosphere to produce nitrate ions, NO3 negative, which reach the soil in precipitation. Nitrogen fixation can also occur through soil bacteria. Certain bacteria in the soil can fix atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. A third way nitrogen fixation can occur is through symbiotic bacteria. Certain types of symbiotic bacteria that live on the roots of specific green plants, like beans and clover, can convert nitrogen gas into nitrates, which the plants can then use. Nitrogen gas may be returned to the atmosphere by two processes. These are denitrification and nitrification. Denitrification is a process where certain types of soil bacteria decompose and convert nitrates to nitrogen gas. Through denitrification, some of the nitrogen in the soil is returned to the atmosphere. Let's take a look at this diagram. So you can see highlighted in yellow are the nitrates in the soil. Denitrifying bacteria then can change these nitrates back into nitrogen gas, which is released into the atmosphere. So that's one way nitrogen gas can be returned to the atmosphere. The other way nitrogen gas can be returned to the atmosphere is through nitrification. This is the process where certain types of bacteria convert ammonia or ammonium to nitrate, which may then be converted to nitrogen gas. So we can see in our diagram we have ammonium in the soil, so this can be ammonium or ammonia, and then we have nitrifying bacteria changing these into nitrites. Then nitrifying bacteria are changing them into nitrates. The nitrates in the soil can be taken up and used by plants because that's a usable form of nitrogen for plants. But an alternate path can also occur where these nitrates are changed by denitrifying bacteria back into nitrogen gas, which is released into the atmosphere. Next, let's look at the nitrification process. The nitrification process begins with the decomposition of animal waste and dead organisms. This results in the release of ammonia or ammonium, a nitrogen-containing compound. We can see from our diagram that decomposers like bacteria and fungi break down dead plants and animals. Next, specific types of bacteria transform ammonia or ammonium into nitrites, another type of nitrogen-containing substance. Then different bacteria convert these nitrites into nitrates. These nitrates can either be further decomposed and released as nitrogen gas or absorbed by plants for their growth and development. Now let's recap the nitrogen cycle. So we know we have nitrogen gas in the atmosphere, but this is in a form that it's not usable directly by plants and animals. So nitrogen fixation needs to convert nitrogen gas into nitrates. This can happen by different ways. It can be through lightning, it can be through symbiotic bacteria, or through soil bacteria. Once nitrogen fixation occurs and nitrogen gas is converted to nitrates, the nitrate is a usable form for plants, so they can use this form of nitrogen for their growth and development. Nitrogen gas can be returned to the atmosphere when bacteria decompose and convert nitrates to nitrogen gas. And so the cycle can continue on. Now it's time to continue to the next video, but before you do, let's pause for half a minute. Take a deep breath, have a quick stretch, and then join me to learn more about the nitrogen cycle in the next video.